I think if I hear you call me Becky one more time, six-pack, I'm gonna pop your tops. All six of them.
Who are you?
I'm Matt once again. Welcome back to another review, and this is for Andrew Patterson. I apologize for the lateness of this. Try and get to them as soon as I can. He put in a few requests. I appreciate that. If anyone wants to put in requests, you just send them either directly to my PayPal or join me in my Patreon. Either way is fine, and both links are down below in the info box for those interested. Now, some of the requests he had were for a couple more Incredible Hulk TV episodes. I wasn't sure if I should do them separately or by one video, but I figured, I don't want to keep the guy waiting too long. He's been very nice about it, but I just feel bad about it. So I'll do all three in the same video. Hopefully that'll be fine. If not, I apologize. I figure instead of him waiting for the others, boom, get all in one video. There's a few other requests I'll get to, but the three episodes he wanted: Family from 1977, Mystery Man, and Prometheus. Now, I reviewed the pilot a month or so ago, and I did not grow up with the Incredible Hulk. I grew up with some of the TV movies, the one he was in with Thor, the other one he was in with Daredevil. I remember seeing those when I was a kid, but I didn't see much else of the show. But you could tell I love the music of the show is well done, especially the lonely walk that ends each episode. Great piece of music, emotional piece of music. Bill Bixby did a great job showcasing the man who, very nice guy, doctor, scientist, but with this affliction that he's desperately trying to get rid of. And you can really see it in his performance, in his eyes, but he has a warmth to him. And then Lou Ferrigno, obviously with the 70s, effects are going to be limited. So yeah, you did Lou Ferrigno as a big motherfucker, Pam Green. The certain transformations where Bill Bixby has these creepy looking contact lenses, then turn to the Hulk. It works. And it seems like for usually in episodes, the Hulk will change about two times. Usually one, it seems like one in the first 20 minutes and one in the last bit. Each episode is an hour long, so without credits, without commercials, it's about 50 minutes. And with each of these episodes, they were two-parters. So like Death in the Family, I believe was the second episode actually. He's on the run, he's hitchhiking, and he sees this young girl. Joe McRae from the TV show Major Dad, he's in this, but then he disappears for the second half. But he's here as like a henchman for the baddies. And as a doctor, he notices they're giving the girl something that's not right, is not the right color. And so the bad guys want him out. They throw him out. They fucked up. They fucked up badly because Bill Bixby hulks up. And for a TV budget, they can only do so much. But it works. So he'll smash the stairs, smash this here, throw people. Because the thing is with the show, they had limitations. They had limitations with budget. They had limitations with effects because it was the 70s. It's not like today. The Hulk could not kill because it'd be deemed too violent, too sadistic, too mean, too cruel. Maybe standards and practices of the day. At least for that show. And then for a good part of the show, there's none of the Hulk supervillains. Now, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe some supervillains do come up, but it seems like he never really comes across supervillains. I mean, there was that thing where he teamed up with Thor and teamed up with Daredevil, but I'm like, for what I understand, I think when you get into season 4 or something, there's a little bit of sci-fi, so there may be some monsters in there and such, but I mean, like villains he would have in the comics. It didn't seem like he utilized really villains of the comic books into the show. Which I wonder if that was because of a budget thing or a rights thing. Or maybe because really the creator of the show wasn't really a fan of the comic books. It's like he likes the idea, but he wanted to change stuff. That's why he wanted to change the Hulk to be red. And instead of Bruce Banner, it's David Banner or David Bruce Banner. And the way he turns to the Hulk, different. I talked about him when I reviewed the pilot, so I think the show is hampered by the fact that it's created by a guy who's not big into the comics. It would have been nice. Again, forgive me if I'm wrong. I'm not an expert on the show. But it would be nice if you saw some of the villains from the Hulk comics. Or maybe She-Hulk. Or other stuff of that nature. Because I was enjoying the 3 episodes, but I could see myself being like, if I watched this back to back to back, I might have gotten tired of it after a little while. But Bill Bixby and Lou Ferrigno are they're the ones that make the show work. Of course. Bill Bixby with his acting, Lou Ferrigno with his presence. This episode I didn't mind. I didn't mind the setup. I didn't mind this bit, which reminded me a little bit of Bride of Frankenstein. Or when they parodied it in Young Frankenstein with Gene Hackman in that scene. Where Hulk comes across an old man that lives in the woods. I always say to Young Frankenstein where Gene Hackman keeps accidentally setting Peter Boyle on fire. Or keeps burning him on accident. But here he doesn't do that. He offers the Hulk chicken and he's a nice guy. You realize that the Hulk really hates alcohol. He spits it out. One thing leads to another. David tries to warn the girl. Of course, she's like, "Da, da, da, da." Hits him on the head. That's the second time he changes. No, actually, I forget, this is a 2-parter. So the way I saw it, it was actually put together as like a 90-minute little movie. And he changes, blockades the door, smashes the building, takes her as if he's Swamp Thing, taking the girl out into the swamps. She's able to understand what he's going through. Oh, this is what happened to you. Starts to believe him a little bit of what's going on. The big thing with this that I'm sure people will remember is this is the bit where when the old man, and the old man decides to help him, they're going through the swamp. They beat a bear. And not since Hercules with Lou Ferrigno. Funny enough, 2 things with Lou Ferrigno. So, I thought Hercules was the first time Lou Ferrigno threw a bear. No, this is the second time, because he throws a bear here. Just the Hulk throws a bear. Granted, doesn't throw him in outer space like Hercules does. Yes, in Hercules, Lou Ferrigno throws a bear into outer fucking space. That doesn't happen here, he just throws it like 100 feet. But again, you can't be too cruel, so the bear doesn't die. Which is fine. There are some moments that's pretty crazy where it does seem like the actor is really there with the bear. Of course, not the whole time, but some of them is like, okay, that's pretty sketchy. But then when he lifts the bear out, it looks like a guy in a bear suit. But it's like, well, what else could they do? So he throws the bear. I just never thought I'd see the Hulk throw a fucking bear. Granted, that's something I wanted to see, but okay, he throws a fucking bear. I just say, hey, to show how strong the Hulk is. Okay, he could throw bears around. For that part, that was the first time he changes, and then... Well, either way, he does change later on, because there's some helicopters out to get him, and he throws a tree into the tail rotor of the chopper. Stop the bad guy, save the day. Jap Badi, the reporter, the actor's not bad, but sometimes he just seemed to get in the way of the story. Some he works fine. Like there's one of the episodes, Mystery Man, that character is much more adamant to the story. Here it just seemed like, okay, we're coming to this guy, he's not a bad actor, but I don't give a shit. All of his scenes are pretty much useless because he can't find out who he is, because we gotta keep that mystery that he doesn't know who this Hulk is, secret identity. But at the same time, it's just, you can't catch the Hulk, otherwise the show would be over. So part of me wonders, did you really even need this reporter to be chasing the Hulk around? But I guess it's supposed to give some kind of suspense for David Banner so he doesn't get caught. But the guy who plays Jap Badi is not a bad actor. Just, again, sometimes he just felt useless. But I mean, that episode, it was fine. I like the little Bride of Frankenstein moment where he meets the old man. He throws a fucking bear. That's that thing you see every day. Seemed to move at a good pace. Interesting to have William Daniels, the voice of Kit from Knight Rider, as one of the bad guys. Joe McRaney, like I said, Major Dad himself. In the first half, he's there, but the second half, he's not. Just the Hulk threw him so hard that he's like, fuck this, I'm out. Can you blame him? Another episode he wanted me to talk about was Mystery Man. I don't think this needed to be 2 parts. And at times this felt like a clip show. People don't know what a clip show is. Back in the day, you didn't have the advantage of having VHS and all that stuff, where you could rewatch this stuff. Nowadays, you just, pop it in, go to your Netflix or whatever streaming platform you use, rewatch the episode. But back in the day, they're like, we want to showcase some of these clips again. People want to see them again. They haven't seen them before. Let's have a clip show. That's something they don't really do nowadays because there's no reason for it. It also helps when people are making a show. So it's like, oh shit, we need this many episodes. Well, if we do a clip show, that will help us because we only have to film less. We can film less because the rest will be having past episodes plugged into certain areas. So it helps on the time of production, on the making of the episodes. And really, if you took all that out and more so, this would have been just 1 episode. Because I don't think there's enough story here to go through 2 episodes to be a 2-parter. Because what happens is David Banner gets into a car, he's hitchhiking with this crazy bitch, redneck crazy bitch, who reminds him of someone that left her. So one thing leads to another. This redneck gal is mad. My man left me for a 20-some-year-old. Drives crazy. He's saying, calm the fuck down, bitch. She doesn't. Crashes the car. He hulks out. Knocked out. One moment, the fucking Lou Ferrigno, his head is on fire, and he hits it, and you see like his fingertips are on fire. So I wonder if someone got hurt on that. But David Banner wakes up. He has amnesia. Doesn't remember who he is. He gets a face mask, so he looks like a slasher villain. So like, just, wow, he does look like from a slasher movie. And well, that'd be crazy. The Hulk as a slasher villain? Oh, shit. But he has no memory. He has his face mask on because apparently there were burns there. Which I thought the Hulk... He got that when he was the Hulk. Would he still have the burns? I don't know. For some reason, I thought as the Hulk, his wounds would heal. I mean, I think they do eventually, but I assume since he got that when he was the Hulk, then it would still heal and... I don't know. Whatever. Maybe not. But it's the Hulk. I wouldn't think fire would damage the Hulk's face, but maybe it would. I don't know, man. I don't know. So... Jack BD, the reporter's been following him and chasing him since the pilot. He thinks this guy's a witness to the Hulk. Doesn't know it's actually David Banner because of the mask and stuff. So say, hey, let's go over here and let's get on a plane. We're going to go over here. They do. The plane crashes. The pilot dies. And as David Banner tries to remember stuff, it flashes to other episodes. Like an episode, apparently he was a pilot and he's hanging from an airplane as the Hulk. Another one where he's in a boxing ring. Another one where he's running down, I guess it's supposed to be the street of New York, in New York. I didn't see those episodes, so I can't tell you. You get some clips from the pilot. And then, I mean, by the end, there's a forest fire, and then you get to the second part where they're chased by wolves. He hulks out at one point, tips a tree over to his steep. And it's a lot of them talking. David Banner trying to remember Jack BD. Granted, it was interesting to see these two characters together because so far this is the most I've seen these two together, talking back and forth, having conversations. And you learn a bit more of Jack BD, at least to the fact of he's doing this because A, he doesn't have many friends. B, hopefully the story would put him back on top because he really hates where he's at now in his life. And even David Banner goes, well, this thing saved your life. Don't you want to help him? It's like, yeah, but in this world, it's either you or them. And you gotta choose. So there you go. And it ends with Hulk saves him from this burning tree. He realizes his buddy is the Hulk, but he doesn't see the face. Takes him to safety. And then Jack BD, he seems a bit sad that his friend's gone because he yells out his name. Not David Banner, but because he didn't know who he was called John Doe. So he kept yelling out, John, John. I don't know, he seemed a little bit sad, like this is his only friend, and now he's gone. Maybe he was put there to do something different. Maybe he's put there... I just don't know why this had to be a two-parter. It just dragged for me. I think this all could have been done in one part. I mean, that's what happens. Gets amnesia, plane crash, forest fire, escape from wolves, save him from a burning tree, the end. Yeah, I think that could be done in 48, 50 minutes. But had to put in these clips in. So I guess this was his own version of a clip show. So I would say of the three, this was my least favorite because he didn't have a lot of the Hulk, and even then the Hulk didn't do a whole lot. And you know, it's referencing episodes I don't know what they are, but you do get a little bit more Jack BD character, him and David Banner bonding with each other, and you know, Bill Bixby and the guy who plays the reporter, they're decent actors, so at least you get that. But that was Mystery Man. And then the third one was Prometheus. I know it has nothing to do with the shitty fucking movie Prometheus. This one is more about... This was interesting, I'll say that. Another two-parter where David Banner saves his blind girl, hangs out with this blind girl, and then this meteorite lands nearby. And he runs off, And the radiation from it has him transformed into a half man, half Hulk, which is interesting because it was different. Where it's David Banner, but he's a little bit still muscled. The contacts are still there. His face is a little bit still. He doesn't have the green skin, but again, it's in between. And he's like, I don't know why this is happening. This never happened before. And then he's chased by choppers. He gets captured. That's the first half of that's literally 50 minutes. And that's the thing. This, yet again, I don't think this needed to be 2 parts. What I just explained could literally be done in 15 minutes. Introduction, he saves a girl, 5 minutes. There's a meteorite, can't change, 5 minutes. Hell, another 10 minutes. Military, he's caught, 20. The other almost 30 minutes could be what you have in the second part. He's in the military base. He's in this holding cell where you have the spotlight thing, this microwave thing, so he can't get out. Shows how shitty this place is because he could just smash through the fucking floor just fine. Shitty security. Not some steam pipes out. Jabba D, the reporter's there. The reporter that's been chasing him throughout the entire show. Tries to talk him down. Others say, fuck you, and shoot tranquilizers. Transform from half Hulk to full Hulk. Beats the shit out of everything. Place is caught on fire. Smashes some more stuff. Lifts the opening. Gets the girl in the steeps. And ultimately, he does return to normal form. So, yeah, the half-man, half-Hulk was interesting, but... And there was one intriguing dream scene where he's out in the desert and the Hulk like comes out of this safe as if he's locking it up, and it's like the Hulk slowly stalking him. I wish that was extended more, that kind of stuff. That kind of psychological stuff, I think would have been interesting to see more of that. Of this half-man, half-Hulk, where half of it is like the Hulk trying to overtake him and Bill Bixby fighting back, or something to that effect. Because in the first half of that 2-parter, the first part, again, could be some saves a blind girl, hangs out, radiation, half-man, half-Hulk, chased by choppers, captured. Did that need 50 minutes? I don't think so. Second half, or the second part, a little bit more interesting, being on the military base. One of the few times the Hulk has been captured. You know, escape from it was fun. Well, this is what I'm saying when I'm getting to this, is like, I don't think this is a bad episode, but I kind of see this... I don't think this is a bad show. I just don't think this show would be for me if I watched it ongoing. I would think... Maybe because with the Hulk, he can only do so much. And he's limited because of the budget. He can't do crazy things like lift tanks and swing them and shit because it's a TV show. I don't think you have a lot of the Hulk's villains, which is a shame. The bad guys that Hulk fights are no match for the Hulk. So you can't ever think that the Hulk may lose this point because none of them are up to his deals and being a true enemy. So, I don't know, it just... Yeah, I remember the first time I saw this show was when I was a kid, was when he was fighting Thor. And then they became buddies. It's like, wow, he's fighting someone, you know... So maybe that spoiled me. Because that and the one he did with Daredevil are the first 2 I saw, like I said. And then, didn't watch much show. And yeah, I don't think... Bill Bixby does a good job. Lou Ferrigno, great presence and look. Music, well done. Fits it. When he hulks out, you get some fun stuff and smashing. I just think if I watched that... Maybe that's why he only hulks out twice or once or twice per episode, because they thought people would get bored with it. Or they couldn't afford it. I mean, I would say Death of the Family I liked. Then I would put this, and then the Mystery Man that barely had any Hulk in it, and that's a two-part that really didn't need to be a two-part. Here, I don't think this needed to be a two-part either. It just needed to be one part. But the whole between human Hulk form trapped in that was at least interesting. But I think there's more that could have been done with that. There's a lot more. Whether it be drama-wise or psychological-wise or something to that effect. But yeah, not a bad show so far. Not a bad show. With that said, thank you once again to Andrew Patterson. Thank you guys for watching. Take care. We'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.